Now to do the basic continuity test and an R1+R2 test. First thing, it is a dead test, so make sure you've isolated the circuit that you're working on, secured it and proven it's dead. Okay, so we get our meter, which I'm using an old Metral meter, set it to continuity. Okay, and in this example I'm just going to be testing a extension lead. I've got the plug and socket end in front of me, so it's going to be dead easy for me to show you how to do the test. So first thing, we need to zero the test leads together, press the button, and we have a reading of 0.19 of an ohm. We need to zero that now, press compensate on this meter. That's zeroed the test leads, so the test we're going to do now will be accurate and it won't be including the resistance of the test leads. So we're going to do the earth continuity. We're going to go between the earth in the plug and the earth in the socket. Press the button, and we've got a reading of 0.03 ohms. That is our earth continuity test. Okay. If you want to do a continuity test on something which is far away, like this, say this lead was 20 meters long, we can't do this. If it's clipped in place or it's buried in a wall or whatever, you can't always do what I'm doing for this example, have them in front of you. So what we can do is a R1+R2 test, which I'm going to show you now. So R1+R2, R1 being the resistance of the live conductor, R2 being the resistance of the CPC conductor, the earth. So we need to remove the live conductor out of the plug, and also the earth. And to perform this test, what we need to do, we need to put a temporary link between the live and the earth. Let me get this Wago connector. So I'm going to just link these two together. And another example of where you could do this test is on a radio circuit. So your last socket on the circuit, disconnect it. Also disconnect it at the board end. You would link one end, like I'm doing here, and carry the test out from the other end. So that's just another example of doing it on, say, a radio circuit. So now I've linked the live and the earth in the plug. We're going to do the R1+R2 test. We need to again zero the leads, test leads together. Let's zero that. So our test leads are zeroed. And now we're going to test between live and earth in the socket. Live and earth. And we've got a test reading there of 0.1 ohm. Okay, which is expected for such a short run. If that's a good result, okay. If you were wondering what a bad result would be, I'll show you now. If we just remove the live cable from the Wago connector, which is now representing a break in the circuit we're just going to test. Let's repeat the test now and see what we get. Zero the leads. So we're testing between live and earth again. And we've got a reading of greater than 2000 ohms, which is representing an open circuit. So that test now has proven we've got a fault, we've got an open circuit somewhere on the circuit. And that is your R1+R2 test. If you have any questions, leave me a comment and I'll answer them. And there'll be a video next on the insulation resistance test fully explained. Thank you for watching.